I tell people this all the time, but my husband cannot do his job without me. And I think that's a really important part of the conversation when we think about dual income homes and the way we talk about men who work and women who work. And I say this from the context of having a partner with a demanding job that has long, unpredictable hours. So I am the default parent in our house. And I have found that a lot of women find themselves in this position where their partner works long, unpredictable hours or they travel often. And so she is the default, even though she likely works full time too. And sometimes earns the same, if not more, than her partner. She is the one with the flexible job and is the default. And there's this narrative in this situation that these men work so hard to provide for their families and that their wives should be thankful that their husbands do that, right? Be appreciative for the hard work that he does. And in the case of my husband, like his job is very important. I am so appreciative of the work that he does and I acknowledge that. But also, in these dynamics, these men, they cannot do their jobs without their wife or their partner. They cannot do the job that they do and have the family and home that they have without the unpaid labor of their partner. The partner who is at home doing the pickups and the drop-offs and the tubby times and dinner and managing everything. And it's so funny because I rarely travel for work, or I try not to because I am the default parent. And I travel maybe once or twice a quarter, and it's usually for like a day. So I have a day trip this week. I'm leaving for one day, 24 hours. I'm flying out and flying back. And my husband was gonna have the kids and do all of that. Well, his work has changed and now he might not be able to do that. And so now I and he, we are rearranging childcare, we're coordinating carpools, we're just trying to figure out if we can make it work. And this is a part of the conversation we don't often talk about, which is that he can only do his job because I am at here doing everything else. And this relates to stay-at-home parents too. We often say like, she's so lucky that he works so hard so she can stay at home. But she is doing such important work, even though it's unpaid, that often goes unrecognized. And he is lucky that she is there while he is outside of the home, right? The two things rely on each other. They're dependent on one another. And so I really think it's important that we are very careful about the language, because when we say that she is so lucky, it tells us who we value in that equation and what kind of work we value in that equation. We value the paid work more than the unpaid work of managing a home and raising kids. And so anyways, all that is just to say, my husband can't do his job without me. I can't do my job without him. And it's really important that we think about the way we talk about these things, because women aren't lucky to have a husband that has a job if they're the ones doing all the default work at home.